Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Assalatu Wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Now in this video we will be looking at another control structure, that is for loop. Basically in loops what we do is we repeat a set of statements over and over. Suppose you have a program to display a multiplication table. So in multiplication table what you will be doing is basically you need to display, suppose you are displaying the table for 2, then the 2 will remain same but the multiplication factor will vary. Suppose like for 2 multiplication table, 2 into, first you will begin with 2 into 1 equals 2, then 2 into 2 equals 4, and then so on. In that the structure of the statement which you want to display is same, only one or two values will be changing. So whenever you want to repeat a set of statements, then you have something in C called as loops. You can use those loops to repeat those statements. So first of those types of loops is for loop. So we'll look at an example for the for loop. So we'll create a program by the name for.c. Now we'll begin with the insert mode, then the hash include file stdio.h. Then coming to the main program. Now in the main program I want to repeat a statement which says 2 into something equals something. So that I want to repeat, or for that case, be it anything, like suppose user want to display the table for 3 or 4. So first we'll create a variable. We'll create two variables, int variable which stores what value the user for which the user wants to display the table, multiplication table, and then I for repeating the loops. Now first we need to take the input from the user. So I am using a printf statement to intimate the user that he has to enter a value. Printf enter a value for displaying multiplication table. It can be anything, I'm just writing it so that you can understand it. Sorry, I have missed a backslash n here. So now the user will enter a value and we need to take that value using the scanf function, and as it is an integer value we are using a %d format specifier, %d, and then I'm storing that in the variable. Now the syntax for the for loop is, it has 3 segments. The first one indicates the initialization segment. So in this segment you will be initializing the variables which you want to use. Suppose now in the multiplication table what we will be doing is we'll first display 2 into 1, and then moving on from that we'll end up at 2 into 10 equals 20. So the first value where I am beginning is nothing but the initialization, that is I am beginning at 1. The value of 2 will be remain constant, so that I have stored in the variable, but the value that is changing, it is changing from 1 to 10, that is 2 into 1 equals to 2, 2 into 2 equals to 4, and then from moving from there on till 2 into 10 equals 20. So there the value, second value is changing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for that I am using a variable I. So first I'll initialize I equals 1. So that indicates that I have to begin from the value 1, and then I have to check the condition that it should stop when the value exceeds 10. So I am writing the condition here that I should be less than or equals to 10. It should not exceed 10. So that's the condition there, I is less than or equals to 10. And then the third segment is incrementation. The first one was the initialization, the second was the condition segment, and the third one is the increment segment. Here we can increment the value of a variable. So as we are incrementing the value one by one, that is first it will be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and so on. So here I'll increment the value. Next time the I value should be incremented by 1. So I'll write I equals I plus 1. So this is how we are incrementing the value by 1. Now inside this for loop, I have to display the multiplication table. So for displaying, I'll use the printf function. Now in the printf, I need to write 2 into 1 equals to 2, then 2 equals to 2. So I have to frame that sentence, the general format of that sentence, so that it fits in the printf statement, and every time the loop get executed, that will be shown as the output. So I have to display first 2, or for in that case whatever the value that user enters, that will be shown first. So I have to display this. So to display this variable, I have to use first a format specifier, that is integer. 2 into, for into I will be using a star mark or asterisk mark if you want to call it that. Then I have to display the value of I, because I is beginning at 1 and then it is incremented to 2, 3, 4 and 10. So variable into I. So to again display I need to use the format specifier %d, and then equals, then the value of the result of the multiplication, that is the result of the multiplication of variable with I. So for that I will be again using %d operator. Now the first %d is displaying the variable that the user is entering. So I'll write here first variable, then the second one is the I, which is being incremented 1 by 1. So the second one is I, and the third one is the result of the multiplication. So for the result of the multiplication, you need to specify variable into I. So this is how you can display a table. So how the for loop executes in a C program is, first it will come to the initialization segment. So here it will check what are the variables that are being initialized. So here we are seeing I equals to 1. So it will initialize the variable I value to 1, and then it will check for the condition, that is I less than or equals to 10 or not. So since the first value of I is 1, I will be less than or equals to 10. This condition is true. If and only if this condition is true, the control will go inside the for loop. Means it will come here in the printf and execute the printf statement. Then it will display %d, that is the variable, suppose 2 into %d, that is I. So 2 into 1 equals variable into I. 2 into 1, that's 2. 2 into 1, 2 will be displayed. Then after executing this statement, it will go to the increment segment. Here in the increment segment, it will check what increment operation it has to perform. So in the increment operation, here we have specified that I value should be incremented by 1. That is I equals to I plus 1. So it will increment the I value by 1, and then it will not go to the initialization again. It will skip. The initialization will be done only at the beginning of the for loop. That is when, at the first time when the for loop is being executed, only then the initialization will be done. After that the initialization will never be done for a for loop. Then we directly from the increment section, we go to the condition section. Now the I value has been incremented by 1, then the I will become 2. Then as the condition is true, 2 less than or equals to 10 is true, it will come inside the printf and it will display 2 into 2, as the I has been incremented by 1, it is 2 now. So 2 into 2 equals 4, multiplication of 2 into 2. Then again from this statement it will go to the increment section again. Again here the I value is incremented by 1, that is I becomes 3 now, and then it will check the condition. It will not go to the initialization as I have already mentioned. Then it will come to the condition section. It will check for the condition 3 less than equals to 10, which is true. So as the condition is true, it will again come inside the for loop and then execute the printf statement, which is 2 into 3 equals 6. Then again it will go to the increment section, increment the value, check for the condition. If the condition is true, come inside the for loop, execute the this statement inside the for loop. So this is how we can repeat a number of statements which are written inside a for loop. So now let us execute this program. So first we need to save this. It is :wq, and then now we'll be executing this C program. First we'll compile it, cc space for.c, I have written printf wrong here. So we'll go inside the function vi space for.c. So as you can see, I've made a mistake here. Insert mode, then go to the error, correct the error, then colon wq to save it, and then again execute cc space for dot c. There are no errors. Then dot slash a dot out for output. So now we need to enter a value for displaying multiplication table. So now let us enter the value as 2. Oh, we have not given a backslash n character, that's why the output is showing it in a one line itself. So we'll go inside the loop program for.c program, and then here we need to use a new line character, that is backslash n. So this is how we can basically format the output for a program, colon wq to save it. Then suppose if there are many like you can see, there are many lines in the screen. So if you want to remove these lines, then you can use the command clear, so the editor will become neat again. Then you can again compile it, cc space for.c, then dot slash a dot out for output, dot slash a dot out. So enter the value for multiplication table. I'm entering 2. So as you can see, the table is being displayed. 2 into 1 equals 2, 2 into 2 equals to 4. Now as you can see, the value of I is being incremented 1 at every level. First the I value was 1, which we have initialized in the for loop as I equals to 1. Then the I value is being incremented by 1, which we have seen in the increment section of the for loop. So I value is being incremented by 1, and the output is being displayed in the formatted manner. So this is how you can use a for loop to repeat a set of statements. Whatever is written inside the for loop will be repeated until the condition for the for loop is true. So for the loop statements we'll look in the further videos. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.